Hey everyone, I'm Bob.
I'm Mike.
I'm Spencer.
Me amo still Daniel.
And this is the Board Game Rundown, and today we're going to be doing a review of Águeda, the City of Umbrellas, a new game coming out from 25th Century Games. And in Águeda, you're going to be collecting these umbrellas, putting them on your board, and scoring points. And so to do that, you're going to choose a column that the umbrellas are located in. If you choose one, you're going to gain a coin. If you're choosing two, you're going to break even. And if you're taking three, you have to put a coin back. But once you take your umbrellas, then you're going to place them. So you're going to choose one of the rows on your player board, place your umbrellas down in whichever order you choose. If you manage to cover up one of the little paint splotches, you're going to unlock that part of the tile in your mural over here. If you unlock both of those tiles, you get to gain that tourist and add them to your player board on top. That'd be the updating of the mural. And then you're going to attract tourists, and you're going to take one or two of your tourists that you have at the top of your board. You're going to place them on one of those tiles on the side, and you're going to score either one or two of the colors, depending on how many tourists you chose, in that appropriate row. You're going to gain your points. Once that is all done, the board will refresh. You're going to grab more of those beautiful umbrellas out of the bag, fill them from top to bottom, left to right. Then the next player is going to get to go. And then the game is going to proceed in this fashion until one player fills their board up completely. And then they are going to take the bicycle token. And then everybody else is going to get one more turn. After that, you're going to do the end game scoring, which is all listed at the bottom, which is very convenient. You're going to get extra points for filling your mural out completely. You're going to get points from each of these shops that are randomized and chosen at the beginning of the game. And then you're going to lose points for every empty space. Dan's going to lose a lot of points. He has a lot of empty spaces over there on your board. And that's the basic rundown of how you play Águeda.
Yep.
What'd you guys think?
Yeah, sure. So a couple things. There's some endgame point cards that are going to come up, so pay attention to those.
Yeah, they're kind of
because,
important.
That is going to change what you want to be focusing at a time, and it's also kind of a way to force players to work towards the same colors, right? Which is going to make the game tighter. You know, so this one is you want a lot of oranges, but not next to each other. So the oranges are going to be disappearing from there a lot, and you're going to be fighting over that with the other players and being like, oh, please get to me on my turn. So that's something as well that's going to be going on. So this is kind of like an abstract strategy, like it's not set collection, but you are like trying to line things up to create combos.
Pattern building?
Right. I haven't really played a game like this where I'm trying to match up the colors in this way. The way that you're gaining workers by trying to land your colors on certain spots is very interesting. I think you're going to hear from all of us that this is a very beautiful game. I don't think anyone can deny that. I'm sure someone will, but they're wrong. Yeah, overall, this is an interesting abstract strategy game where you are lining up colors to try to create a bunch of combos, and maybe the most interesting mental part to me is trying to plan ahead. As one of your actions, you can rest, which gets you your workers back, but then these are going to change where they are,
right.
Which if you were, building all your blues and yellows here because you were getting all those points there, they're now useless until you rest, 3 more times or whatever. Which is slowing you down point-wise if you want to do that. So maybe putting some blues and yellows down here, knowing that as you rest, you're gonna have a backup point thing next turn. Trying to think ahead 1 or maybe even 2 turns and planning your placements is maybe the most interesting part for me that I don't always nail. So yeah, overall, it's an interesting game. That's most of what I have to say about it. I'm sure I'll bounce off you guys.
Yeah. Mike, what do you guys think?
Yeah, I would have to agree that the most interesting part is the timing element of making sure you've got 2 tourists available that can score your best scoring row, like being able to fill one of these, place 2 tourists on it, and score 7 points for an entire row is definitely very fulfilling. As far as the components go, yeah, gorgeous. The box art immediately drew me in. I don't know if this is exclusive to the deluxe, but I like how these tourists have a screen printed camera on the front of them. That's a really clever touch. And I'm assuming these are part of the deluxe instead of them being wood. But anyway, it's gorgeous regardless. I really like the metal coins as well. But that timing element is really clever. I get a bit of an Azul vibe here, where I've got to take all the tiles from one area and then I've got to place them in a row. But
Sure.
that's the way you take them and place them is the only similarity to Azul. The scoring is vastly different than Azul, so that's the only game I can really draw a mechanical comparison to.
I still
from
haven't
this.
played it. So
And I haven't played all the variations of Azul.
I will say I'm not sure what the basic components look like because, like I said, this is the deluxe edition.
is the deluxe.
But these umbrellas were specifically designed to cast shadows. 'Cause that's one of the big things from the festival is that the umbrellas overhead and they're shading everything and casting these shadows. So they were designed to be easy to pick up, and that no matter what the light coming at them would be, they would cast a shadow on the board, which is interesting.
Yeah, I like the way these fill. And I like the way also how this mural kind of fills in as you're flipping these over. You're actually creating a picture on this side of your
Yeah.
player board, which I really enjoyed.
well, and they didn't need to, but every player has a different mural.
Correct.
Right.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That was not necessary.
Right.
And it's cool.
And every player has very different
Yes.
color combinations on
Those are
these scoring tiles
Yep.
on the left, too. So playing all the different colors will give you more replayability also.
Yep. Yeah, that was one of the things that I did fail to mention early on is that when you do take that rest action and all your workers do come home, those will rotate like that, and that timing aspect is
That
is
part's very
interesting.
clever.
Yeah. Spencer.
Oh, well, this is obviously a beautiful game. I really like the attention to detail in this game. For instance, every player board has its own little, table. They're all different.
Different diners, cafes.
We each have our own mural. Just the bicycle. I mean, a lot of this stuff is stuff that is important to the city of Águeda. And I really like that they added those little details. I mean, I have a name of a street. I am this street. And these are real streets in the city.
Yep.
So, yeah, the attention to detail is fantastic. I love it. It is a great game, but I have a little problem with how much interactivity there is. I can only really affect the next person. And that's only if I'm looking at his board and purposely choosing something that I know he needs. There's no point in me actually trying to plan ahead very much. I disagree with you, sorry. Because if I plan ahead on his turn, by the time it gets to me, those pieces aren't there anymore. Doesn't do me much good.
Sure, yeah, you can't plan ahead as to what column you might choose, but you can try to plan ahead as to
yes.
where you might place your pieces to affect your scoring in future rounds.
You can try. You can try.
And succeed.
Yeah.
You can't succeed.
Fortunately, I don't think this game is AP inducing because in other games where the board state drastically changes when it's not your turn, people could freeze on your turn because all their available options are gone.
The choices are
I
minimum.
think the coin implementation helps with that a lot. Do you not have a coin? You
Take
have
a
like
one.
4 choices.
Right.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I think that helps quite
Definitely.
a bit.
And it's also good to, if you know, even if you're getting towards the end and you see, well, I only have one spot here, but I need to have a purple. And you can hold on to a coin because if a purple goes into one of these spots, the only way to get it is with a coin. And so it gives you a little bit more options. But other than that, yes, this was a very fun game. And I've played it a number of times now.
Yeah. So I would say a couple of things. Like I love the aesthetic of it. I don't know if most of you know, but I am half Portuguese, and when I started playing this and I saw the little Portuguese roosters on there, I thought that was amazing. So I took a picture and sent it to my mom, and she thought that was super cool. I did bring my Portuguese rooster that I keep in my kitchen because that's where you're supposed to keep them as a little prop there. But I love the colors on it. It's very beautiful, very vibrant. I love that it's got the turn breakdown on your player board. It's got the end game scoring all right there, so that's easy for new players. The 20 minute to 40 minute play time is very accurate, and it makes it very easy to get to the table. My biggest problem with it is we don't have it on the board. It's in the box over there still, but there are 2 player colors that are very difficult for me to tell apart. Now, as long as I'm not the one keeping score, it's irrelevant. But that is unfortunate. Like
The navy blue and the red.
No, it's actually there's like this light blue and like a slightly darker blue. I think it is. Or maybe
The
maybe
two
it's pink.
blues.
Yeah, it's not those 2. There's a 5th
One's in
player.
there.
And we didn't play with it, so it's over there.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now the umbrellas I can tell apart, no problem. They have the designs on them,
The
which
designs
are
are
great.
very nice.
Yep, and so that makes it, the actual gameplay not an issue. The biggest, like I said, the bigger problem comes with if I have to keep score. Watch me moving pieces because I'm going to move the wrong one. So that is an unfortunate, knock
That's
that
why I lost.
That's probably why you lost because I wasn't.
You moved it a couple times.
Yeah.
We didn't use
Yeah.
pink. Hold on a minute.
We didn't use that color. Right? It was a good try, though, Dan.
Good excuse.
But that's it. So now we're going to give it a rating. And Dan, ask Spencer how we rate the games.
Spencer, how do we rate games?
Hey, Mike, how do I rate the games?
We're going to score games on a scale of 1 to 10. We're going to average all of our scores together, and we're going to give you one score. That's the rundown score, and that's what we put on Board Game Geek.
All right. Sounds pretty good. Dan,
Hi.
what does Spencer give this game?
You have to give for
Probably
me.
like an 8.5.
All right, so I score this game. No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Me?
It ended up coming back to me last time.
So I keep using the word interesting for this game, and that is kind of where I put it. I don't love it. The abstract strategy games, and people will argue that term for days, but abstract strategy games in general just don't do much for me. I have to find one I really, really like in order for them to like stand above. And this one is fine. It's got some cool stuff in it. I really like the thinking ahead. Again, that's my favorite part. And like Spencer says, sometimes that gets you nothing, which means that my favorite part of the game could kind of go unnoticed. But I don't know. I honestly think at this point, I also think I've played the least. No, Mike's played the least. I played the second least out of everyone here, and I think the game feels really samey. The points are always around the same. People's boards always look the same, like because of the scoring system. So it just doesn't do too much for me in the like love category, and I'm actually landing on a 6.
Spencer.
Okay. I like that this is a very short game. It's 20 minutes, and it's not complicated. I can play this with my 8-year-old. He's not going to have any real problem with it. It says 10 and up, but really, yeah, an 8-year-old would have no
As
problem.
long as they're not going to choke on those
Are you
pieces.
breaking the rules?
I'm breaking the rules. And because of that, I'm actually giving this a bump because I would be able to get this one out to my table relatively
Quite a bit.
frequently. So I'm giving this one a 7.5.
I was wrong.
Yeah, I appreciate the accessibility of this as well. This will be very easy to get played during the holidays or showing my friends that don't game as much. I do agree that it's good, not great. In that, yeah, I could see some similar mechanics happening each time. I think the replayability comes in the variability of that community scoring.
Yep.
Maybe trying the different player colors and getting those different scoring tiles down. Like it, don't love it. So I'm also falling at a 7.5.
Nice. Yeah, I really like this game. It's enjoyable. I've taught it a bunch. It's super easy to teach. Obviously, I've got a warm spot for the Portuguese stuff. I would like to give it an 8, but because of the color issue, I'm going to bring it down to a 7.5 from me as well. I'm glad I own it. I'm glad it's on my shelf. It is a game I will reach for to play. So that will bring us to an average of, Daniel,
7.1.
7.1.
It's a respectable
Nice.
score.
It's a pretty good score, yeah. So thank you, everybody. This has been the Board Game Rundown. We do have a Patreon, and if you could afford that, we do appreciate it. But if you can't, comments are free, so we appreciate any comments you might have to leave below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell, and all the other YouTube algorithm things that it does enjoy. We do a live stream on Wednesdays called Whiskey Wednesday. You could look for us there. And we also have a lot of other little projects that we'll be working on. So
Yeah.
thanks for watching. For the Board Game Rundown, I've been Bob.
I was Mike. I want to add this
Sure.
will be available at Gen Con.
Yes, it will.
So
Oh,
if
yeah.
you're interested in this, go to 25th Century's booth and pick it up.
Yep.
Thanks.
Oh, and I'm Spencer, and I'm selling a book at Gen Con, so come by.
I'm Daniel, and I have nothing important to add.
As it should be.
Thanks for watching.
And you can say the title's only 3 words.